Hello, my name is Kendall, and I'm an admitted nerd and Dungeons & Dragons lover here at Norman Central. For years I've battled deadly beasts and come across wondrous items all in the name of tabletop gaming, and I am here today to offer you 3 new tips on creating your next character. Even during times of this pandemic, this is an amazing way to stay in touch with your friends, even if you've never played Dungeons & Dragons before. There's applications like Zoom and Skype, and there's even social media applications that you can do it online that make it so easy to stay in contact. I implore you to try these tips and start a game with your friends. And now, here are my 3 tips to start you off with your character creation. Cue the infographic. Draw or search for an image of a fantasy character online. There are near endless results for elves, dwarves, and other creatures through search engines like Google and Yahoo. Pick one that stands out to you and write a backstory for it. Try and write just a few lines though, as you want to make sure you have room to expand as you play. This is something I did through creative writing classes through high school and college. It is excellent for starting off writing in general, but excellent as well for something like Dungeons & Dragons. Write down 3 characters you love from the world of fantasy and science fiction. They could come from movies, books, television shows, whatever you can think of. Once you have 3, try and decide what they have in common. What are some of their flaws as characters? Even think about how they would act as all 3 personalities in one. So going right off the bat for myself, I'm going to pick somebody like River Song from Doctor Who, Legolas from Lord of the Rings, and Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. Just imagine what that might look like as a person. Once your character's begun to take shape, give them a special item. Don't give them something like a weapon, but rather a pet, a piece of jewelry, or even a book. Think about why it is special to your character, and then also think about what would happen if they were to lose that character. Once you start playing with others, don't tell anyone unless they need to know. It makes for great instances of character interactions. An example of this that I've used before is I have had this squirrel that is invisible to everyone, but this squirrel is a kleptomaniac and is constantly stealing things from my party members. It makes for hilarious instances of party members having things being lost and me constantly rolling stealth checks and sleight of hand checks to see if my squirrel can succeed. These 3 tips are amazing for creative writing. Again, these aren't limited to just tabletop gaming, but they're meant to inspire you. Start off with creating a character. If you've never been a game master or a dungeon master before, this is an easy step 1 to move forward into being that role one day. If you need further ideas, come to your local library. We have items like the Player Handbook, the Monster Manual, campaign books. We even have Dungeons & Dragons graphic novels. Items that you can get your hands on to see what official Dungeons & Dragons lore is and get ideas for your new characters. And now comes the really fun part. We're going to take a look at races, classes, character alignments, you name it about Dungeons & Dragons, we're going to cover it. Join me in my next video as we're going to take a look specifically at classes and what you might consider before you pick that worthy warrior or wondrous warlock. Thank you again, and I'm Kendall from Norman Central, and as always, keep exploring as fortune favors the bold.